It's C-Doc again.
Party people in the place to be.
What up, C-Doc?
What up, M-Rock?
How you doing, bro? Long time no see.
I know, right?
I need to go back to Burgatory ASAP. I'm just gonna move in there, I think.
Oh my God, one of the greatest restaurants ever. For those who don't know, M-Rock was in town over the weekend. We went to Burgatory twice, but not only that, but we did. See, the wife is inviting you back.
Oh well, thank you, Mara.
There you
I'm
go.
coming back.
But not only that, we did go see. If you want to tell the people who we saw, I see you got the shirt.
I got one of the shirts. So we had the Grand Wizard Ricky D, Slick Rick, the man Positive K. Then we had Big Daddy Kane with B-Boy Tata, who was incredible.
Crazy.
And then the god himself, Rakim, backed by one of the gods on the turntables, DJ Jazzy Jeff.
What a show.
What a show. And also,
go ahead.
Very informative about science and engineering and molecules.
Very true.
Yeah.
I have I got footage. Well, I know, and you got footage too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we got some footage. Might put it together, throw it up on the site. You know, let you guys check out what we saw, even some of the science. You know,
Right.
But you know who wasn't at that show was Jennifer O'Jenny.
Effects. Oh, what's up, Jenny?
What's up?
Why weren't you performing in Pittsburgh?
Yeah. You know, my new single's not ready. I couldn't get my B-boys in line. I know
how it is. The B-boys.
Shit happens. And they're temperamental. They're a temperamental bunch.
They are.
They are.
Especially your B-boys.
Right. Right.
So Chuckified is traveling with his family this tonight. So he's for the next couple of weeks, I think. He said he'll check in when he can. I've got my coffee cup like it's a real late night talk show.
Do you even have anything in that, or are you just going through the motions?
No, I do. It's tea because I don't drink coffee.
Bourbon.
Yeah.
It should be bourbon.
Long Island.
You want the show to go straight to hell right away. Yeah.
So I don't think our listeners know, but the reason that Chuck is traveling is he is officially in the witness protection program, and he's just trying to find a safe spot. Yeah, because of Orange Juice Jones.
Yes. I didn't think we were supposed to tell people that, but it's out there now. So, you know, give us that information what you will.
Yeah, exactly. But don't try to find him.
So. Yeah, exactly.
Orange juice and don't go looking in that closet.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Knackwurst, my lovely wife Mara, enemy agent Shan, hype style in the place to be tonight. What up, everybody?
Greetings, Earthlings.
What up?
So M-Rock and I went to the show here in Pittsburgh. It was crazy. Legends gracing the stage. Science, which was kind of bizarre, but you know, whatever.
What are we talking about? Why do you
no, seriously, Jen. Seriously. It was so the show was to raise money for a science initiative for kids and stuff like that. But they actually had, before the show started, they actually had a guy come out and give us
really?
A long science lecture. Yeah.
Swear to God. It was as bizarre as it sounds. Yes.
What in the hell?
If you can imagine a bunch of people our age dressed in Kangol and like tracksuits and like Fila sneakers, sitting around waiting for the show to begin, and then like a 17-year-old Bill Nye the Science Guy comes out and he talks about windmills and it was something.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's
My God.
amazing. I should have had that. I should have had that footage queued up to show everybody.
I would pay
next
cash
episode.
money.
Next
I would pay
episode.
cash money just to even see the look on the audience's face. Like, what in the hell is-
Seriously, it was that. We were all kind of like, because we went in, when you walked into the joint, they had tables set up, and there was, like, oh, okay, little demonstration thing. All right. And then I was like, what the hell? And I was, oh yeah, science initiative.
Yep.
So there was high school kids with their trifold.
It kind of looked like that.
Yeah, yeah. There's
Kinda
definitely
looked like
some trapper keepers going on, and
Right.
yeah.
Oh no.
But then M-Rock saw a merch table, and I'm like, oh man, I hope that's a merch table. But yes, it was. So
Yeah.
Slick Rick and Paz K were selling merch.
Yes, sir.
There you go. M-Rock partook.
Yep.
And so I'm like, oh, okay, well that makes sense. But then we looked up on the stage, and there was a DJ spinning. Shout out to DJ Black Steel.
Yeah, he was dope. Shout out.
From Pittsburgh. And but then there was like there was other stuff on stage, and it was like, I'm like, wait, they're not gonna perform with that shit up there, are they? It's like, and not what is it, 30 minutes later, they brought this kid out with the glasses, and he's like, I'm gonna talk to you about science. And
That's right.
We're like, what? Really?
Not.
Dude had a lanyard on and everything, man. It was official.
Oh my
Oh
God.
yeah. Yeah. It
But
was kind of bug.
I think my favorite part was he had this monitor set up, and between each experiment, they'd roll this like stock footage, and it would say like New York or Paris, and he's like, "Now let's take a trip to Paris," and the music would start, and like, there'd be a plane, and then,
Oh my God.
it was just so bad.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Oh
And it was
God.
super loud too.
It was louder
like
than any of the music.
like he'd be talking at this level, and then he'd hit the thing, and the video would go on, and it'd be like, bah! And we're all like, oh Jesus, because we're all 40 and over, so people are having heart attacks.
Yeah.
It's just like, look, man, we just came to see some old school heads.
Right. He blinded us with science, man.
Yeah, he totally did. So, my dude Tirade was there. He's like, I went to a Thomas Dolby show, and it was not nearly as nerdy as this. So
Right? Wow.
it was so bug. But when the legends graced the stage, Paz K came out and just immediately tore it up.
Yeah, he did. And he's funny as hell, because after he did some of his comedy. Yeah. He is hilarious.
Yep. At the end.
Shout out Positive K.
Yep. Shout out Paz K. So what up, D Lattimore? And
aren't we supposed to Knackwurst and I or something are supposed to be going to see him in July?
Oh yeah, that's right. He's gonna be out your way, huh?
Dope.
Yep.
You won't be disappointed.
Yeah, it was great. It was really good. So how's everyone doing this evening? Jennifer, how are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing good.
Good deal. M-Rock, are you?
Hotter than I don't know what in here, but yeah.
It's crazy hot out here too. So, Chrome in the house, everybody. If you haven't checked out the new Chrome maxi single on Spit Slam record label group, please do yourself a favor and do that. Line of Fire, everywhere you like to stream music, and CD maxi single. That's my pitch for the evening. Thank you.
There you go. I got to say, Chrome is one of those under the radar, super humble guys, but he is a maniac on the boards. Any beat he makes is gold. So please check him out if you haven't checked it out yet. You will not be disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, considering the guest spots he's got on that joint.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Chuck D, Brother Ali, Brand Nubian, pretty much.
Island Boys.
Yep, exactly. Surf MCs.
Yep, Surf MCs. Yeah,
Takashi. Yep. I mean, they're all there. They're all on that joint.
They're all there. Yep.
No, in all seriousness, it's dope. Go check it out. Black Medine. Black Medine is going to stop by next week for a little bit to talk. Yeah, in spirit, Chrome says.
That's
Yes.
perfect.
Black Medina will be stopping by next week because they have a new album dropping on Friday. So we'll
Now you've offended Knackwurst.
keep your eyes out for that. No,
Yes.
Knackwurst. Shit was tight. No, it was not.
No, it was
at all.
not.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all, Knack. But thank you for that. So anyway, yeah. So new Black Medina Friday. Check for that. Amongst the Living Dead. Again, it will be on all your favorite streaming platforms, and CDs will be available at spitslamrecords.com. So there's that.
Nice shameless plug, but that's what we're here for.
No shame. MC No Shame. That's me.
That's right.
So yeah, we got a pretty cool show this evening.
Kakashi.
A really yeah. a really
That's a good one,
show.
shit.
A really big show with Kakashi coming on. Yes.
Oh
He'll be here later in spirit. So yeah. Anyway. So yeah. So we got some pretty cool guests, and I'm trying to think. Well, tonight will be fun, and then next week, like I said, Black Medina, and we're gonna have DJ Magic Mike's manager, Keith Waddell, swinging by, and
Nice.
so that'll be interesting. Talk to him. Mike has a new song coming out, dropping next week with oh my god, I can't believe
Hubert?
Yeah, no. That's that was on our joint.
Oh,
But no, with T-Pain. And
yeah.
yeah. It's yeah, DJ Mike, Magic Mike, super dope, and the joint is great. It's a fantastic joint. It's a great pop song. It kind of feel, but it's dope. So but we'll be talking to Keith about that next week. And then after that, we got some more interesting peeps coming, you know?
Got some really interesting peeps.
We do.
Massively.
Yep, exactly. When the fuck am you going to get paid? Well, I don't know. I don't know when any of us are going to get paid.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's a good question.
It is.
Inquiring minds want to know. If you haven't seen the Magic Mike episode, go check it out on the replay. So, yeah. All right, I'm going to stop rambling. M-Rock, why don't you fire?
He is. M-Rock, why don't you cue up some music for our guest that we want to bring to the scene,
all
to
right.
the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present to you the man who was thinking of a master plan, the man who's the Holy One, and he's returning now. Ladies and gentlemen, YZ.
Yes, sir.
Yay.
What's up, bro?
Man, I'm good, brother. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you. I haven't actually seen you in it's been a few years.
A few years. So I was just saying to Jenny a little yesterday or earlier today. I was saying we actually had a chance to meet at the Over Rivers Festival or something like that. Something.
Yeah,
Harry Belafonte. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. It was really dope. And that was a number of years ago down in outside of Atlanta.
Yeah.
But you look well.
Well, thank you, and so do you, and so does everyone else. Good to see everyone.
Yeah.
Gracias.
Good to see you too.
Gracias. Wow.
I got to give you a shout because I talked to Donald D earlier. He wanted me to tell you what's up.
Isn't he in like Paris or somewhere? Where is he?
He's in Italy.
Italy.
Yep. And that's why he's not tuning into the show right now because he's asleep. So
okay.
Yeah, due to the time difference, but that's all right.
You remember his partner, Chili D? Do you remember Chili D?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chili D lives here in Georgia, and he and I are good friends. And he had told me that Donald was out of the country. He actually told me that he had been out of the country for some time now. So,
Yeah, he's actually talking about moving back.
oh,
So,
really?
yeah, he's at least going to come visit. He said, but he's thought he and his family are thinking about moving back to the States. So,
That's cool.
yeah, we'll see. But he told me something that I didn't realize, that you guys were label mates for a minute.
Yeah, actually, the first record that I actually put out was on a label called Rock and Hard Records out of Trenton, New Jersey, and just so happened that he and Chili D were signed to that label.
And when was that?
Maybe 85, maybe.
Okay.
85, 86, something like that.
Wow.
Maybe 87, somewhere around there.
Somewhere around, yeah. No, that's cool. Yeah. What? So take us back, man. How did that all come about? How did you get into the rapidy rap stuff?
Well, just like everyone else, I guess I started out writing poetry because I was a Prince fanatic, and Prince made me feel real dark and sexy.
He does that to all of us.
Yeah. So, I just started writing this real dark poetry at first. And then, but prior to that, when I lived in Patterson, where I was born, I was a part of a crew called the Zodiac Crew. And the Zodiac Crew was really just a young bunch of hoodlums. Like we were a little gang out of Patterson. But we would bang on the stop signs and rap, and even sometimes sing doo-wop. It's kind of strange. Well, I guess doo-wop is what it's called because when you listen to old groups like Crash Crew, that's what they reminded me of.
Yeah.
For all these MCs in a crew, they just reminded me of doo-wop.
Right.
And so it was kind of an extension of that. And
Gotcha.
That was a long time ago.
It was a long time.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. That was like, if I had to put a year on that, it had to be like 81, 82, somewhere around
Well,
there.
that was a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. But I wasn't in a group or anything, a signed group anyway. But and then later when I moved to East Windsor, that's where I became friends with a guy named Ronnie Hines, who was part of a group called Simply Def. And Simply Def was signed to Rock and Hard Records. And that's how I got introduced to Rock and Hard Records. And lo and behold, that's where Donald D and Chili D were.
Gotcha.
We only put one record on that label. But, that's the history of that.
Yeah, gotcha.
Word has it there's a little fly on the wall, and I think you know who this comes from. But you okay?
I was looking
for the fly.
Yeah, I'm looking for the fly.
It's your other left. Yeah.
Yeah, your other left.
Okay. So
there was a huge conversation between you and somebody who shall remain nameless. Tell me about the New Jersey MCs, because you
well, you don't have to. You got to name people. I'm old, so you got to.
You were one of them, so let's
Okay.
stop.
You mean just out of Jersey MCs? I love Jersey MCs. I don't think that Jersey MCs get nearly enough credit, but and I'm not saying for my sake. I mean, there's some truly greats out of Jersey. Lauryn Hill, Redman. Even though I haven't never really been a big fan, he's still a great MC. Tretch, Lords of the Underground. There's some King Son, for God's sakes, as well as producers. I just don't think that that Jersey on a whole gets its just due from Poor Righteous Teachers down. You know,
Right.
some really, really great MCs, great music has come out of Jersey. Duke Booty, The Message, which is, one of, the record that really started it for me. I just don't think Jersey gets enough credit. Even if you want to, stay in that era, Sugar Hill Gang,
Yeah.
But New York is a place that always was prevalent on the totem pole when it comes to naming things. So when you hear about MCs, there are a great number of MCs from other places that you never get a chance to actually hear about. You talk about top fives with people, and the first thing that comes out of people's mouth is Rakim, KRS-One, Nas, Jay-Z, quote unquote, blah, 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 blah. Right. Same shit, but it's like the same shit over and over and over again. And it becomes redundant to me because Black Thought is one of the greatest MCs that ever walked the face of this earth.
Absolutely.
But yet he doesn't get the credit I think he deserves, in my opinion. And there are many of them. I mean, I'm just throwing Black Thought out there because he's not from New York.
Right.
But there are great MCs from all over, and I just don't think that that people outside of New York, and no disrespect to New York, I mean, I love New York. I lived there for some time, and but I just think that in regards to hip hop in general, the culture of hip hop, Jersey doesn't get its just due because we're very much embedded in the culture as New York is. I mean, Sugar Hill Records, for God's sakes, is out of Jersey. Don't get me wrong. I know they were in New York, but they're based in New Jersey.
Right. Yep. Shout out to my homie Chill Rob G.
Rob G. Lakim Shabazz, Latifah.
Yep.
How does 45 King? How does Latifah's name not show up?
Seriously, she's a worldwide superstar.
Not only worldwide superstar. When she first came out, her music was the shit.
Oh,
you're talking about Wrath of My Madness, all of that stuff. Even if you move on further, when she was doing like Unity and all of that shit is just remarkably dope. But she doesn't get the just due. Rod Digger.
Oh yeah. Yep. Word.
Like how do you not mention Rod Digger when you start talking about dope MCs? I mean, half of the male MCs that you list, I mean, most people list, Rod Digger eat their ass, and so will Lauren.
Yep.
I ain't no disrespect, but
but you're right. There's a lot of truth there.
Yeah. So Daddy-O and I, we used to have this one-in argument about like favorite MCs, and I remember one of the first time we talked, he mentioned Rakim, and I said, well, how do you quantify that? How do you make that statement? And we argued for about an hour, and then the next thing you know, we're on the radio station, and him saying that that Rakim's not in his top 5 anymore. And I was like thinking, well, I didn't mean for you to change your list. You know what I'm saying? Because Rakim is by all means dope. He's like, he deserves his credibility.
Yep.
In my opinion, is Rakim the greatest MC to ever walk the face of this earth? No. But no disrespect to the God MC. I don't want people to think that I'm here like bashing New York. I'm not. I'm a Sagittarius, so I speak my mind. So it's just like, I think maybe that's probably why I have very few friends.
Nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So, YZ, I'm previously from Jersey as well, but I'm on the Philly side. So
okay, what, Camden?
Yeah, closer to Camden, man. So you got the Camden crew out there, and then it goes
where
into Philly.
You didn't mention where, like what, Cherry Hill, what?
I was near Cherry Hill. I was in Mount Holly, so it's like
Mount Holly. I know Mount Holly well.
Yeah, man. So I was out there, and Oh, shout out to the Artifacts too from Jersey, man. El Sensei.
Artifacts. Funny thing is, if we sit here, we can, just kind of mull through the amount of Jersey MCs that has such an impact on the music. That would be almost like mind-boggling, because people would be like, "Damn, I forgot about that."
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because you're too busy following the trends. You're too busy following what someone else said instead of making, your own choice about what is dope.
Yeah, heck yeah. So my question for you, after I moved out of Jersey, actually, I became aware of Mr. Harvey Wallbanger, Tony D.
And
I was like, yo, like, here's an Italian dude. I'm Italian. Like, he's making dope hip hop. He's producing. He's rapping. Could you tell us a bit about your experience with Tony D? How you guys met? How you guys made music together?
Yeah. Well, again, Tony. Remember, we talked about that old label, Rockin' Hard, and during that period of time when we put this record out, we put our record out called I Am Who I Am, and on the flip side, the B side was this record called I'm Bad, and we would play like any local spot that would have us. We would go and rock. Anyways, our name kind of started to circulate a bit around town before we put this record out, because we were, Trenton State, which is not called Trenton State University, it's not called Trenton State College. It's like the College of New Jersey now, something like that. But anyway, there's a guy named Duke who had a great big sound system. He's a show promoter, among other things, but show promoter was part of his repertoire. and the funny thing is, when people in Trenton, in that area, they know Duke, so they know why I paused. But Duke was a great man. He would throw these parties, and quite often when he threw parties, Tony D would be one of the DJs that would be spinning for him. So one day I'm at the Lawrence Center where he was throwing a party, and I get a tap on my shoulder. I turn around. Tony's like, "Yo, can you come to the DJ booth? I want to talk to you about something." And I said, "You know me?" He's like, "Yeah, everybody know you, YZ, such and such and such." And see, I have to be real honest with you. Even though we would have these weekly battles and stuff at malls and different stuff, I never really thought about my name circulating in circles. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, So when he knew who I was, it kind of struck me funny. And maybe I just grasped rap, and maybe that's why Jersey doesn't get the recognition, because we don't command it. We don't say, "Hey, look at me,"
Right.
And,
Right.
And so it was surprising that he knew who I was. Anyway, he invited me to come to his house to do a demo. I rapped over this him. He had a track, and he was spinning I want to say Trans Europe Express, and I rapped this probably 7 minute this 7 minute song I wrote called I'm Bad. This was before LL. And so that demo ended up making it surfacing around the Jersey area, Philadelphia area. This DJ named DJ Woody Wood out of Jersey passed it on to Jeff Mills, who was DJing for Power 99, Lady B.
Oh, yeah.
And so he got in touch with me. He was like, "Hey, I got this demo from a friend of mine. His name is Woody Wood." I said, "Oh, yeah, that was real nice of Woody." He's like, "I'd like to come and meet you because I want to talk some business with you." So he drove. He probably lived in Camden at the time. I don't even think Jeff lived in Philadelphia. But anyway, he drove to East Windsor where I live. My father drove me to the Dunkin' Donuts to meet him and sat in a car while I talked to this strange man in another car. He had my demo. He had my demo in his car. He was like, "Look, I like this. I would like to record this." And so I told him I had to get permission from my parents. and which was like sitting right in the next car over. Because man, I'm still like in school, like I'm probably 16, something like that at the time.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I go back to Tony. We finish a demo. I bring in a guy who I was writing for on the side. He was a dancer for me by the name of G-Rock, and Tink, who was my DJ at the time, and we just created this group called Too Deaf for the hell of it. Don't ask me why it was Too Deaf. Everything was deaf at that point, I guess, because we all wanted to be Def Jam, I guess.
Yep.
It was very deaf times. Yes.
It was a deaf time. Yeah. It was a very deaf time. That sounds like a T-shirt. It was a very deaf time.
It does.
On top of I'm deaf. So.
Right.
Literally.
So I've heard. Yes.
But headphones really help. So. So anyway, we did this demo, and maybe a week to 10 days later, you know, when I was younger, every weekend we would listen to the mix shows. If it came out of New York or Philadelphia, and where we were located, you could get both.
Oh, right.
You know, because if you live near Trenton, you can hear the New York stations. Where I think somewhere Philadelphia, they don't usually get the New York stations, and vice versa.
Yep.
But where I lived, you can get both. So I would listen to Red Alert. I would listen to Chuck Chill Out. I would listen to Magic and Marley Marl. And then later on, it would be Magic and Pete Rock.
Right.
I would listen to the Lady B show in Philadelphia. And I was spending more time listening to the Lady B show lately because this DJ who just made my demo is the DJ. So at any moment he may play my record.
Right.
And so funny story with that. While listening to, you know, flipping back from station to station, but making sure that I get to Power 99, you know, every few seconds, somehow my record came on and it missed me. I didn't hear it. And my brother was like, "Isn't that you on the radio?" And, you know, I had to step back because how do I not even hear myself? I wasn't deaf at the time. You get me?
Right.
Anyway, now I'm screaming, running down the stairs across the street to go tell G-Rock, you know, that our record's on the radio. And he's already blasting it out his window. And he came downstairs, he's dancing and shit. And that the rest was history. It was like almost like a party because people in that area would come outside and listen to this record. And, you know, it kind of changed things for me. One thing it told me was, moving forward, I don't know if I want to put another record out on Rock and Hard Records because I was looking at them. I was like thinking, man, these guys can't be no more than 10 years older than me.
Yeah.
Why can't I do this myself?
Mm-hmm.
And so I started putting my own records out after that. Shortly after that.
So that's about the time you did like In Control
Thinking
of Things?
In Control of Things, Thinking of a Master Plan.
Yeah.
My next single was on Diversity, which was owned by Timothy Baylor and myself.
Oh, gotcha.
We had 50-50. And then the first group we signed to that label was Poor Righteous Teachers.
Wow.
Didn't last long because Tony was salty about it. But
right.
but that's my, you know, it's my part, man. You know, I don't hold grudges with people, man. I've never been that way, especially now. Like I just almost try to forget shit.
Yeah.
Like even when people like throw dirt on you, you got to kind of forget and move on.
Yep. No, that's good. So then
let that hate be your soil, you know?
Of course.
There you go.
Yeah, of course. So then how did Tough City come into play?
Well, the record started to take off. In Control of Things was on the it's funny, Philadelphia radio is where we got our start. But about the time we put out this single, Marley and Pete Rock were on, had their own show on WBLS, and it was called the In Control rap show. And I just so happened to have a record called In Control of Things. So he would open his show with our record.
That's
And
dope.
so, yeah. And the funny thing is, it took me a minute to catch on because I was always, a little late when it came to, because I'm trying to hear everybody's shit. I would always miss the intro of the damn show. And somebody said, hey, he starts the show off with your shit. You need to listen to his record. Listen to his show. And I did. And sure enough, he would start it with that record. And it changed things for me because now you got labels reaching out to diversity. And one of those labels was Tough City. And I have to tell you, when Timothy brought the idea to me, I didn't want to do it. I was just like, yo, it's too early. We're just getting started. Like, let's get our feet wet a little bit and let's see where this goes. Because it could have been endless.
Right.
And but what Tim wasn't telling me, and I didn't realize this when I was younger, but as I grew older, I realized just through living that he couldn't afford it. He couldn't handle where we were going. It was moving too fast for him. And but he wasn't going to be like, he was probably 10 years older than me. He wasn't going to say to me, hey, this is costing us an arm and a leg now, even though it wasn't really costing us an arm and a leg, but depending on where you are on the totem pole,
right?
And I think it just became a little bit stressful for him. So he took the meeting. I took the meeting. Reluctantly, I have to say, we signed a production agreement with Tough City. Looking back, if I had to do it all over, I would have never signed a Tough City. However, it served its purpose, I guess.
Yeah,
it served its purpose. Because Tough City was one of those labels that the New York scene knew of because of Mark the 45 King, because of Lakim and Flavor Unit and shit. Spoonie G and who else did they have on their label? And they had so many different people on their label at a particular point. And I didn't really realize that they did have all of these people. Actually, when I first heard Tough City, Mark the 45 King owned that label. Because most of the stuff that came out on Tough City was Mark the 45 King.
Was 45 King, yeah.
Or produced by, So,
right.
Yeah.
Earlier on. And so anyway, we signed this deal. I told Aaron in that meeting that if we do this, we'll change the label. And sure enough, we did. We ended up getting 4 videos for that album that's sitting right behind you right there. And one of those, 2 of those I probably would have shot differently.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, for that time, it was very rare for an artist to have 4 videos on one album.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a lot.
Even though those videos were kind of cheesy, but you understand.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, come on. What do you mean? You don't want to wear a yellow Speedo?
I didn't have on any yellow Speedos.
I know.
That man decided to put on tight drawers. I let him. Hey, you can't stop a muscle man from wearing tight drawers when they want to wear tight drawers. Hey, what am I saying, man? Them tight drawers, don't do that. And he was just like, he would have hit me or something. I wasn't trying. I wish I would have had a different shirt on, to be honest with you. I would have been better with that. Maybe a pair of different shoes.
Yeah, it was the end of the 80s, man.
I didn't choose my clothes.
I
didn't choose my clothes. And the people who were shooting they had wardrobe and shit, and they were like, how about this? And just like with picking beats, they said, how about this? And I was just like, okay, why not? How about this Batman Sucks t-shirt? Okay, sounds great to me. Wonderful, let's do it. Anyway, man. But you get it. It was just like, I was just, it was my first video, man, and I was just like, maybe this, sometimes you got to just sit back and let the people that do what they do what they do.
Yeah.
And so, and in the way of that, and it worked. It worked.
Very true.
funny thing is, in control of things, when we put that out, Master Plan was on the B side of that, and it was never a record that people played. No new station in New York played Master Plan. It just so happened that there was a guy named DJ Easy Eddie D out of Dallas who loved that record. And the funny thing is, I didn't find this out until like within the past 5 years, that Eddie D is the reason our record broke other markets, because he started this thing in Dallas, which moved to Houston, and the next thing you know, all of Texas and then California and all these other areas are opening up to YZ because of Thinking of a Master Plan. And because it was so popular, we had to go shoot a video for it.
Wow.
Huh.
Yeah, because I mean, I grew up in Pittsburgh, and that was the first record of yours I heard.
Yeah,
but that was Master Plan.
It wasn't the first record though, because In Control of Things was a single before that.
Right. Huh.
Think about this. In Control of Things has an instrumental. Have you ever heard an instrumental of Thinking of a Master Plan ever?
Nope.
Because there isn't one.
Right. Right. That explains why. Because I always
we never thought that record was going to do anything.
Wow. Crazy.
But those are the ones, man.
What were we saying, Jen?
I was trying to think of when we started playing it on K-Day, and I don't really remember.
Look, K-Day, the funny thing about the Bay Area in itself and LA, they became very familiar with us early too. I mean, and I just think that the Bay was one of those places that, you know, they're very open to things that are happening on the East Coast at that point. And so was LA at that point, because if you listen to even Dr. Dre and all of it, they were all New York City rap fans.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I know that to be so because the first time I met DOC was like, oh shit, the first time I met, and it blew my mind because DOC, I'm a big fan. Right. First time I met Dr. Dre, I said, Dr. Dre, what's up? It's YZ. He went up 2 steps and walked back and said, oh shit. And you know, it was like, you know, and I'm like thinking, this is fucking Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
You get me? So it just you never know who you touch when it comes to music. You never know. You never, or art in general. You know, or your expression, because like, you know, these other forms of expression kill people and become famous. So, you know, but my way was to express through music and art. So it's really strange when, you know, guys like that know you. Early on in my career, I would do shows with Too Short, which was just very strange. When I would see that on the bill, I was like, Too Short, YZ, man. But Too Short and I became cool. We're friends. We've recorded together. You know, that's my dude. But I've known Too Short maybe 31, 32 years.
That's what's up.
So, and excuse me if I'm talking loud. I can't hear myself.
No, you're fine.
No,
you're perfect.
You're fine.
So
you're absolutely good.
One of the things I like to ask YZ is artists coming up in the, you know, what we deem the golden era, so late 80s into the early 90s, you could almost hear a change in sound almost every 6 months or every year. Like, you know, we went from sparse drum machines to people trying to sound like Run DMC to James Brown loops to Public Enemy layers, and then you had like the content changing, you know, and I was just wondering, as you were working through all that, were you riding the wave and like, oh, okay, people are doing this now, I guess I need to do this now? Or were you like, no, man, I wish it wasn't going this way. I want to stick to, you know, this, or I want to do my own thing. Like, did you have any of that going on?
To be honest with you, I think we were the wave, not to sound so conceited about it, but Tony D was special. He was doing stuff that no one else was doing. And I wasn't really paying attention to everything else outside of that. When Tony and I was working, Tony would put a beat on, whereas like you could tell when he was producing with Poor Righteous Teachers and other groups, they were very selective about what they would rap. If you listen to that album that's right behind you, it's all over the place because Tony would put beats on. I'll be like, okay, just like with the clothes. All right, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
You know, so that album, you know, you got in the party and thinking of a master plan. Like, you know,
Right.
that doesn't sound like a nice Nas combination, you know. But you understand what I'm saying? So we weren't trying to follow those trends. And then moving forward, think about it. The first single I came out with off of the Ghetto's Been Good to Me album was a record called Return of the Holy One. That record didn't sound like anything. Even till today, I can't think of nothing that sounds like it. And I'm not saying it just because it's me. I'm saying it's hard to duplicate that sound.
Yep.
It's hard to duplicate it. Now you might be able to duplicate The Ghetto's Been Good to Me, but man, I had my old roommate Beta. He is an artist. And the way he paints is the way he looks at music, and that's the reason I produce the way I do now. When I listened, like, we didn't know where we were going with this album. We went in, we had a budget for a single. I booked 24 hours in the studio, and we didn't know what the fuck we were gonna do. We went in, made a beat, wrote a rhyme, and it came out to be Return of the Holy One. And I was just like, after the fact, after I settled down and woke up, you know how like you make something and you wake up thinking, that shit I made last night is gonna sound whack as fuck. Like, you know?
Yep.
But I woke up and I was like, oh shit, we recorded that?
Yeah.
And I knew. To be honest with you, when we took it to them, he was like, YZ, you think this is the single? And I was just like, yo, I don't know about the single, but that's what you're getting out of the budget, and that's what we're feeling. And I'm liking this record. It doesn't sound like anything. You can't compare it to anything. Yeah. And sure enough, that record was like #1 on BET for like 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't you suppose, though, it's because it's like what you were talking about, M-Rock, there weren't trends back then. They were the ones setting the trends.
Look, think about this. Let's think about this. I know I'm gonna sound like I'm really like I got the trumpet out right now, but see that you know when Chuck D came out, right? When Chuck D came out, they wore black regulars, blah 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 blah, right? Chuck didn't sound like anything to me. That sound was totally just them. P.E. De La Soul didn't sound like anybody, not to me. Tribe Called Quest didn't sound like anybody. YZ didn't sound like anybody. You couldn't compare me to someone else. Same thing when you start to look at like PRT. PRT, people used to try to compare PRT, but we don't sound like Poor Righteous Teachers. We do not sound like PRT. You cannot duplicate Wise Intelligence. He will really dig in your ass. You can't do it. You know, so, but as far as like the image, before us, there was no locks, there was no, think about that record right there. Like you got colorful clothes and that was a different one. I didn't even notice that one. I didn't even see that one. Now you know that's Daddy-O on the cover right there, right?
Oh, I did not.
Yeah, that's him and the dude, the DJ for Freestyle Fellowship right there. Yeah.
Put that back up. Put that back up.
In the background.
That's him right there with the vest on, right there. You can't see his face?
Oh, yep, I can.
Yeah. So, but anyway, and that was shot right there in Brooklyn, and that record cover, changed a lot of things too. Think about this. We talk about trends. That was the first record that Danny Hastings shot. First record cover that Danny Hastings shot.
Oh, word.
Then you got Return of the Boom Bap, 36 Chambers, Diary of a Mad Band, you name it.
Gangstar.
Gangstar. You get me? But think about that. Before that album cover, Danny Hastings never shot an album cover ever.
Yeah.
So we were, I guess I was lucky to be ahead of the curve a bit. You get me? My ear was to the streets. grabbing groups like UTD, which featured Mos Def and Adolf the Assassin, were signing me. Legion of Doom, they were all signing me. So I was lucky in that we were part of that trend. We were part of the golden era change. And I'm not taking anything away from those artists that I just told you, because they were very much a solid part of that too. Remember, Jungle Brothers changed their whole sound.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
From that first album to their second album was like night and day.
Yeah.
Yep. To the third album.
Yeah.
The third album was somewhere else completely.
Yep.
It sure was.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I meant by, there were no trends to follow. You guys were setting the
we were
trends.
setting it. Yes, we were. We were trying to. But we weren't trying. Well, I don't think we were doing it on purpose.
No, you weren't. No,
yeah,
I mean, nobody knew.
Yeah, we didn't know what the hell was going to be hot. If you would have asked Lenny Fisherberg, he thought Holy One was going to fail.
Wow. Hey, somebody's in the house.
Wow.
So
look
chuckified.
Look at there.
Oh.
What's up, YZ?
What's going on? Chuckified.
What's going on?
Chuckified.
We got a little RV trip going here. We're getting ready to head out west.
Okay.
Word up.
Where
you guys at?
We're in.
I'm in my house.
We're in Jackson, Tennessee. Day one, Jackson, Tennessee.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Anyway, I just want to drop in and say peace.
Peace,
thank you,
brother.
sir.
Peace, salute.
Yeah,
Glad to hear from you guys. Enjoy the trip.
Thank
I know
you.
you'll be checking in. Hi,
Yeah.
Jennifer. I see you back there. Yeah.
Hey, and please be safe out there.
Yeah, be safe out there for real.
Because it's like you're talking about trendsetters. The gun smokers are the trendsetters right now. They are not playing.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the media is not, allowing them to stop that trend. They're like boosting that trend. It's good for ratings.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely is. All right,
So,
The truth. All right, bro.
Peace.
come on. Love Jenny Jen. All right.
peace.
All right, I'm right. All right, Doc.
All right, bro. Talk
Later.
Peace.
soon. Peace.
Salute Daddy.
The man on the
Daddy's
road.
not here. Yep.
Man. Gotta stay busy. It's funny, Chuck. I'm so proud of Chuck. Like, the first time I heard Public Enemy, I was just a teenager. I was driving down the turnpike, and it was in the middle of the day, and I hear wow, wah, wow, wah, ow, wah, ow, wah, ow, ow. I was just like, oh my God, what the fuck is this? I almost had an accident. I just gotten my license, and I almost had an accident on the turnpike.
There it is.
Yep.
Yo, man. It was the same thing when I first heard Basshead. I was like, what is this? What are you kidding me? This is real? This is amazing.
I wasn't expecting this big ass voice. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting this big ass voice.
Yep.
No, there's nothing like it.
Even to this day, it's
Nothing
hard.
like it.
Who would try to dare duplicate PE? Like, give me.
And that's the thing, man.
Who could?
That era, you had to come with your own shit. You had to be original. Otherwise, you were gonna get dissed. You were gonna get dissed.
People aren't original now. They get this. The difference is they don't give a shit now.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't care if they get this. For them, haters are their motivators. Haters help them to get paid. We didn't understand that back then. That haters help you get paid, because we had haters there too. Come on, I was damn near in a fight every month with somebody in New York. It's over some bullshit.
Right.
I
well,
understand.
Of course.
I understand. He's got a little beef with a few rappers here.
Who, me?
You.
Who? Oh, I had beef with damn near every rapper. Damn near. And, it's beef that I wasn't expecting the beef. You get me? Because it's rap. Think about this, man. You ever see Wild Style?
Oh yeah.
You got two crews that stand up against each other, looking like they about to beat each other's ass, and they start rapping,
Yep.
dissing each other, talking about how fly they are, how fucked up you are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm like thinking, if my name comes out your mouth, fuck you, and I'm dope and you're not.
Right.
You know, so I don't expect fights over that.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Right.
Same with
Didn't
b-boying. That was
didn't happen that way.
yeah. It was as an alternate to fighting. So.
Label mates. Say again?
Oh, I was saying, man, like same with b-boying.
B-boys.
That was an alternate to fighting.
Yes.
You got the breakdance crews battling each other, but it was never out of hate or physical. It was just, I'm gonna dance better than you.
Man, me, I just had to, you know, I hate to sound like this because it's kind of perpetuating what's going on now. Go anywhere without a pistol.
Mm.
I mean, because I felt like I'm a loner. Even though I'm taking care of a bunch of people, you won't see me with 40 people. You won't see me with 10 people. You'll see me by myself. If I'm going in offices or coming out or flying, I'm by myself. And so it got to the point where you can only get jumped but so much, or attempted, you know, somebody attempting to jump you but so much before you say, you know what, the next time somebody jump me, I'm gonna shoot him in his ass. And so I just, you know, not to kill, but I damn sure would get an ass cheek, you know, for sure.
They're gonna remember
Yeah.
Yeah.
or a thigh or something.
Yeah. So speaking of stuff like that, getting jumped and all that, did you ever play any places like the Roxy or Danceteria or any of those places where it was like rough and you had to watch out for that kind of stuff?
No, I've been to the Roxy. The closest I've been to a stage on the Roxy, Luke and the True Live crew performed at the Roxy. And I went, and it was dope. And but there was a place very close to the Roxy called
Latin Quarter.
No, I've been to Latin Quarter several times. Latin Quarters is actually more Midtown. The Roxy was on 14th Street, and very close on 15th Street was, I don't want to say City Gardens because City Gardens is in Jersey. It's called something Square. Not Union Square. Maybe it is Union Square. Union Square. Union Square. You familiar with Union Square?
That sounds familiar, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So so
in New York?
New York. Yeah. I would play there. As a matter of fact, I played there with Gangstar. I played there with X-Clan, Pete, PRT. I've done a lot of shows with a lot of people from Digital Underground, Tupac, even, you know, separately. The only people in rap that I probably didn't do shows with that I would have liked to have done a little more some more West Coast groups. There's not many artists out of the East Coast that I didn't. From Nas, I've done shows with Nas and Onyx, and you know, and Biggie was a cool friend too. Like he was one of them dudes. But I think Biggie was just friends with everybody, man. I just think he was just like I do because he was just one of those dudes. Like if he see you, he's all laughter and cheer. And,
yeah,
you know, I miss those guys. Like I miss that fun that they brought to the game because they brought a lot of fun to the game. Pac was a serious one, like quiet and serious. I don't know why people this loud Pac came from. Pac was like a really quiet, seemed very introverted when I first met him.
Mm-hmm.
And then that I guess after he got with Death Row, he became very loud and very boisterous.
Put on the show. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
He was a hell of an actor.
He sure is. But he's one of those, he's a method actor though. So like he becomes what he's portraying.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, but I miss him. I miss the you know, I would love to see what Pac would look like right now. You get me? What Biggie would look like right now, you know, but we won't get that chance for foolishness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to step out there for a minute, help the missus, but it's all good. So where did we leave off? M-Rock.
Yeah, so I was asking YZ because we were talking about how, after a while, because he rolls alone and stuff like that, he had to carry some protection on him. And I was asking him if he ever was in a club situation that was kind of rough, and we're talking about like the Roxy, Danceteria, that kind of thing.
I was never in a problem. I would never had a problem at Latin Quarter. I go to Latin Quarters quite a bit. Never had any issues there. Been to the Roxy. Never had an issue there. I don't know if you remember Mars. There was a club called Mars. I got into a big scuffle with Naughty by Nature there and their whole crew.
Wow.
Not Tretch and the brethren from Newark.
The brethren.
Anyway, so yeah, but I was lucky, man. I had an office on Broadway in the same building as the Source. So if you were in the Source building, more than likely you came to my office, and that was a blessing too, because I got a chance to see all the new and up and coming groups before they became anything. Mm-hmm. From Wu-Tang to I remember when this is gonna sound weird, Lord Finesse. I remember meeting Finesse before Finesse had a deal. And but think about the greatness of Lord Finesse right now,
Yeah. Seriously.
And Adolph and UTD and LOD, just the Lost Boys, you name it, like they would come through. On top of which, that golden era of MCs, we all knew each other. I knew Mike G and I in a group together now. Like we don't really get a chance to record as much as we'd like to, but him and Do Me Right, and I noticed he was on one of your shows. But Mike is my man. Like that's But I've known Mike forever.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Our kids went to school together. His daughter and my son went to the same Catholic school on 14th Street in Manhattan.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've known Mike a long, long time.
Yeah, I know. We're trying to get Mike because another situation I'm working with, we're doing some Jungle Brothers vinyl. So
nice.
So we're trying to get some
new
stuff
stuff or some of that old stuff.
Well, we did their most recent record. That was the first record we put out. Yeah.
Okay. Now this is your label or Chuck's label?
This is another label that I'm affiliated with. That I work with.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
My dude Chris Nab.
Cool.
So we did Keep It Jungle, which is their their latest record from 2020.
Cool.
And I'm trying to get Mike to do some I was actually trying to get him to do some solo stuff. So, but
he could do it.
Yep. He's a little busy, but I'm gonna keep on him. So.
Well, Mike stays busy though, but
he does.
He'll make time though. Unlike me, I seem to get lost in the time. Mike is one of those brothers who'll make some time.
Well, I was going to ask you, and I was waiting for see if I was going to show up, and he hasn't yet. So
who?
But anyway,
who's going to show up?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry. about
Dad.
it.
Daddy will pop up if he knows I'm here. He asked me to come, so he'll probably show up.
He's watching television right now.
But listen, I didn't show up on Daddy O's show. He ain't got to show up. He was just here. He was slept in my room upstairs.
Oh.
I see his
hung out with Pete Ross.
I see Daddy O and talk to him quite a bit. Whether he shows up or not, I'm cool. It might be good for ratings, maybe. But
it's always good to have O'Dad come through. So
you're good enough for the ratings.
Well, I don't know
absolutely.
Absolutely.
I don't know about that.
Stop.
Chuck is a person that I've actually interviewed on 2 or 3 different occasions for different stuff, for TNT, from this thing that this other show that I have produced. And Chuck's always open to come in and lend his voice, and he's been a blessing for my life as well. Like I'm inspired by the brother and his movement. I always have been. So to see what he's doing now, it's just it's great to see.
Yep, he's just one of the literally one of the dopest people I've ever met.
Yeah.
And I mean, he and PE, they were my heroes growing up. So now the fact I get to work with them is just, it's a blessing. So it's really dope. But what I was going to say was, Daddy-O had the idea a few years ago. We pitched it to you about you and him doing an EP together. So,
we already got that. The funny thing is the cover is already shot and everything.
I know. We got the artwork.
Yeah, we got the artwork and no recording.
Yep.
But I gave, I know you give Daddy-O beats. He took a couple of my beats too. He actually recorded to a couple of them. But, the other day he was like, yeah, I said, D, you recording all this shit. When you going to put my shit out that I did for you? He's like, man, it's supposed to be on the next album. I'm like, yo, you put out an album every other 6 months. Like what?
Right. Every 5 minutes.
I know, right?
Yeah, you stay in the studio. Put my shit out already, friend. Put my shit out.
I definitely want to do that.
Was that beat that I just heard yours?
Which beat?
He went nuts over. What did he call it?
One of the records he did with one of my beats is called Clap. I don't know about what he called the other one.
There's one that he give me a second here.
Oh, I think I heard that one. I think he sent me that.
He's just now talking about where'd it go? Chosen.
No, that's not me. At least I don't think so. But Daddy-O, he probably has an arsenal of 1,000 recorded records already.
Like, Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got like 28 that he wanted to put on whatever album is coming out now. Like, pare it down a little.
Yep. He always sends it to me. He goes, here's the album. And I'm like, okay, we're going to take off like 50 of these songs. And then we'll sort through the other 37 and go from there.
But I think you work very well with him, though. You guys got a nice, 1-2 punch. I like it. The energy's good. He really respects you, and you could tell. Like, I mean, he gives you a lot of energy. Whereas, it takes that. It takes, because most beats, if a producer has any salt about them, most beats can be made to be something. But the MC or the artist, the singer or whomever, has to feel that shit. Yeah. And so you could tell he feels your shit. Like he gives your beats his all, and that's dope.
Yeah. No, I love working with him. Again, he was another guy that, I grew up on Stetsasonic. In Full Gear is still one of my all-time favorite albums. And,
Float On is your favorite. Go ahead. Say it.
I have the 12-inch.
Are we talking about the record?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
How much I love that song.
Oh, you have the 12-inch on Spotify, right?
Yeah. Don't make me go to the crates now. Come on.
Nowadays, shit, you only got to go to the crate. When people be asking me, why is you still making records? I'm like, bro, do you have a phone? You don't have to ask me that.
Yep.
Ask Google.
Yeah, right.
It's just people just fake the funk. Yo, man, I love your shit, man. You sound like a fucking crackhead. Man, I love your shit. You still making records. What happened to you? I'm like, nigga, what happened to you? I'm right here.
Yeah, Chuck gets that question all the time. He's like, I've put out like 10 albums since 1998 when you bought the last one. So what are you gonna do?
People that but that's people always say, oh man, I'm a true hip hop head. And I'm like, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
You went through a phase. You went through a phase. It worked out. It worked for the moment. You were able to get a few dates off of that or whatever. You played the part. You played the part.
And then you got over it.
Yeah, but you start taking shots to get people's blood and looking at the DNA. You'd be like, there ain't no hip hop in this DNA. Where the hip hop at? You've been lying, bro. Why you lying to everybody telling you got hip hop in your DNA? I don't see any.
My favorite is the guys that are like, oh yeah, I've been listening to hip hop since the beginning, back when I got Biggie's, Life After Death. Huh?
Yeah.
The beginning? Oh wow, check this out. On a plane, no less. Up in the sky, flying the friendly skies.
Chuck D?
Yeah.
Yes.
The hard rhymer.
Brother, it's so good to see your face, even though I can't really see your face.
Right.
Can you hear the brother? Peace, my brother, peace. Can you hear me?
I think so. He's on a plane right now.
Yeah, so he probably can't talk.
Yeah.
Man, is that old dad truth or that's Chuck?
No, that's Chuck.
That's Chuck.
Yep.
Now Chuck is one of my heroes, man. Like he's always been. And he's always been one of those persons that I can sit down and talk to. I always gave great respect to. I remember I was on a plane one time and I sat next to Chuck D and the jewels that he shared with me on that trip, and I still carry with me to this day.
So Chuck is typing right now. He says this is a first, and yes, it is. And he says greetings, YZ. So
yeah,
this is a first, man. Wow, I didn't expect. I sent him the link, and he was like, "Oh, I'm on the plane." I'm like, "Oh, damn, okay," but I didn't expect him to check in.
To be quite frank with you, I'm really feeling really appreciative that Chuck would even take the time while he's on the plane to even just come and spend some time with me, man.
Of course.
Yo, he has me way up here right now.
But Chuck, we can actually hear you. We can hear the plane noise anyway.
Well, he probably don't want to talk on the plane, especially
yeah. So we'll see what he types.
What is he? Oh, he's texting you?
Yeah.
Hey, Chuck, I'm gonna have to get you some of these products, man.
Okay, wait, I gotta.
These are for you right here. I gotta get you some of these.
He said we all sound like robots, so I had to mute him. But
I gotta get you some of these.
Word up.
Hey, ask him. Can you type back and ask him when is he coming back to the A?
He can hear us.
Oh, he can hear us.
Yes.
So Chuck, are you still in Atlanta sometimes?
He's typing. I can probably answer that yes.
Okay, good.
Because he just left.
Oh, he just left Atlanta. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when you come back, brother, it'd be good to see you sometimes, man. I miss your face. I miss your energy.
Because he's got family. He's still got family there. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Chuck is one of my heroes. Truthfully, one of my heroes. I mean, and he knows that. Like I probably bugged the shit out of him for a while. Like, I mean, every time he was like, "Yo, Chuck, can you come and do? Can you? He probably sick of hearing that shit. So now I just want him to come and relax and have some dinner or something,
He said, I'll connect. This is public to the earth. So, but yes, he will hit you up next time he's in town.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My number's still the same.
That's good to know.
Yeah, it's still the same. It's been the same. It's been the same for like maybe 25 years, maybe.
Oh yeah, mine too. I've had the same number for 20 some years.
You got to come to the store when you come too, because I'm getting in distribution and making products and stuff, brother. I'm trying to I take your example, bro.
Talk about the store a little bit, bro.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Well, we have a 77-acre farm out in Jasper County where we grow hibiscus and we have chickens there. We have I'm doing a beehive there. And so, we have honey and stuff, but we take the hibiscus and make products like teas. It's called Pride Road. We do sodas. We do teas, dry teas like tea bags and stuff. We also do simple syrups and lemonades and stuff. And, I'm just trying to keep that enterprising idea and, owned by blacks, manufactured, and our logo is farm to table. You know, because it's rare that you see that where, like, you know, most farmers don't actually manufacture their own goods and put, you know, and so another aspect of what we're doing is trying to move into distribution. So I've been looking at other smaller companies who are looking to get their products in other, you know, larger establishments and introduce them to larger establishments. And bruh, anything you can lend to that, just even a word from you would change the world for me.
He's nodding yes. So
yes, I see it. Yes. So
and he keeps giving you the thumbs up.
Well, that's my man. Chuck is my people. I've known Chuck D. Literally, I've known Chuck. I might be exaggerating, but at least 25, 27 years, between 25 and 27 years, a long time.
Yeah.
And had the pleasure to actually sit with him and talk with him and learn from his vibration. You know, the brother's strong, man. He has a very powerful aura about him. And it's think about this. You know, some people they kind of go up and down. Chuck has been steady and level from the time you known him to now, and it's one level playing ground, and that's true strength right there. That's true strength, because most people can't stay on that same plane and still keep respect, because when the times are changing, they're completely changing with the time. Well, Chuck is the time. He's that timeline. You get me? And not many MCs could even say that.
Yeah, very true. Very true. So, YZ, you're also on Instagram.
I am.
Yes. Because that's how I first found out about the shop, because you were posting stuff about the store.
Yeah.
And you tell people where to follow you?
The Black Bank. The Black Bank. And then the other one that I have is Critical Thinker. Critical_thinker. That's a little podcast that I started. And I've interviewed a bunch of people on it. And then I've wanted to revamp it because I think it needs to look better. I need to do more with it. Maybe it's something I'll talk to Chuck about, and because I love what you guys are doing here. This is, you know, it's the first time I've actually done a live interview. Usually they'll go to like what's that? Not Tiny Chat, but what's the other one that they use that looks similar to this?
Zoom.
They'll do a Zoom meeting, and then, you know, but to actually have this live is pretty dope.
Yeah. That was one of the things we wanted to do when we started it, just to keep it spontaneous and see how it worked out. So far, so good. You know,
that's dope.
Yeah. Chuck says, I was gonna say, Chuck says YZ is a humble giant. A lot of cats hung on his lyrics. So,
praise, man. Salute, my G. Like always, man. You know, it's always love with you, brother. Always.
He says, thinking of a master plan is just one of his pieces that last across centuries. I would concur with that.
You know, it's funny. Chuck did something. I think it was called Louder Than a Bomb, or if I might be wrong, but he did a compilation. Yes. And he added that to it. And I was just, I didn't even know it was on there until I heard it. I was just like, yo, that's dope. But for me, I felt like I was doing backflips. Like, how did I even get in the radar of this, you know? So,
Yes, it was Louder Than a Bomb.
Louder as a Bomb?
I think it was Louder Than a Bomb. Like
Louder Than a Bomb. That's what I thought it was. I thought it was Louder Than a Bomb. Yeah. And when I saw that, I was just like, oh shit, I have made it now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was actually dope, because at the time, I don't think I had your record, and I got that. I was like, yes, thinking of a master plan. I finally have, I had it on CD. So yeah. That was good.
Yeah. I couldn't say enough about the brother. I mean, I love what you're doing, brother. I love what you're doing. I love this whole forum that you're giving people. I remember when you started your record company and you were bringing all these new acts in and stuff like that. And I was just like, yo, man, this brother, like, he is the truth. you know, because he's always reaching back and pulling people, you know, always. Man, a lot of people don't do that. People ain't, you know, they don't have that in them to do that. You know,
The beauty is
reaching back.
Yeah, the beauty is that, you know, we're all fans. We're, you know, day one fans. So
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's the same thing that Daddy-O says, that nobody is like that person right there.
Yeah.
When they would go on tour and pull in the regional people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, nobody else does that. Nobody else is looking out for.
Yeah. Twice in my life, PE has been on stage, and maybe 3 times, but I know at least 2 times I could think of. One in South by Southwest, and one was here in Atlanta, where they were performing. I was just on the side, and he pulled me on the stage to rock, and I was just like, and it's so unexpected. You get me? I'm there to enjoy the show, like, you know, and to become a part of a show that you are enjoying is just it leaves me speechless, man.
yeah,
I can't imagine. You can't imagine how much admiration I have for brothers who they walk the walk. You know, they really walk the walk, and he's one of those brothers that walks the walk. Like, I mean, Hey Chuck, you know, while you're here, I want to get. I said this to Jennifer when she asked me what I wanted to talk about. I really didn't think that we were going to be talking about music or my history. I actually thought we were going to be talking about gun control.
Oh.
I actually thought we were going to be talking about these kids who just got, you know, murdered in Texas. And I hate that we're not able to actually have dialogue, but at some point, I really would like to sit with you and have that dialogue for people to hear.
Yeah. That would be dope.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, because you know, no sooner did you say that YZ, but I saw something on the internet that said there were 14 mass murders in the past. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like nonstop. You got churches, supermarkets, schools. You know, it's kind of mind-boggling, but I don't think the media is helping in any form or fashion. I think that we are actually falling victim of everything that they want, everything that they are choosing to push. That envelope is being pushed, and we are stamping it, you know, and mailing it out, and it's just bad. It's bad, and but I you know, I want to be able to at some point actually get some dialogue from him. So I don't want to have too much of that discussion now, because now that he's here, but it's been deep in my heart about what's going on, and not to say that, you know, that's why I said I don't really want to talk about me and guns, because it's like this perpetual motion, especially in certain communities. It's just like it's perpetual. But when you start seeing, you remember that shooting that happened in Vegas, man, I didn't realize how many people got killed in that. Like, I didn't realize that dude shot over 1,000 rounds.
Yep.
Huh? How do you even, you know, how does that happen?
Right.
Like, I'm in a hotel room and I start hearing gunshots in the next room. Where are the police?
Yeah. Yep.
You know, so anyway, I don't want to get too taken away from whatever you guys want to talk about. But
no, that's okay. But I like that. There's a future episode of the show. There we go. We'll have both of you guys on.
Yeah, I would love to be part of that segment. Maybe Wise Intelligence too. Love to get his viewpoints on that.
Yeah. Chuck said, I had to see if I would be able to lock in with YZ, my bro, even from 50,000 feet. And then then he replied with, yes, it's important, YZ. Why would you think so many artists are afraid to take that leap into the area of mindfulness like yourself and your era?
I think what has happened is, in my opinion, people have been faced with the idea that the only way to get out of poverty-stricken situations or their perpetual poverty, their perpetual poverty is to sell themselves out, sell themselves short. Think about this: the media. We have more women online right now of all races, all creeds, selling sex like never in history because it's an easy sell.
Right.
But morally, does it help us? No. And so I just think that most people are so caught into the idea of chasing money that morals get pushed out of the picture. Think about it. Right now, we're being held hostage right now by 50 senators about gun control, and it's all about money. Yeah. It's about the NRA and their fear, and them not being able to take that check home, because otherwise they would be like, hold on, wait a minute, we can't have these kids dying. So if you would just to answer that question very, very simply, I think it's because we have been controlled and we are being maneuvered like chess pieces, pawns on this board for huge corporations, and huge corporations are not letting that rein go. They're not loosening the reins, not even a little bit. As a matter of fact, it's probably tighter now than it's ever been. You know what I'm saying? Because money is easy for some. When we got rappers who are billionaires, bro, you realize how money is easy now. Like, what's a few $100,000 for something that I don't want to happen, or somebody I want to get rid of, or this idea I don't want to, I don't need to see that, or this whole idea that we can buy political office. But we always knew that money. I think it's money. I think people put money over their themselves, their character, their morals, their souls. And it's sickening. It's sick. What soul? There is no soul.
Right.
You can't. There is no soul. If you put money over your family, you don't have a soul. Period.
Yeah. Yep.
You don't have a soul. Not in my opinion. I mean, if you put money over your morals, if you put money over your community, even just your community. You may not even know your neighbors, but if you put money over your community, you already lost.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, it's just it's sad, man. I think they say money is the root of all evil. And that might very well be true. That might very well be true. Yeah. I mean, because people forget, like, money's not real.
Right.
It's not real. It's and that's the even makes it even more fucked up. That we're praising a God that don't even exist.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Anyway, I didn't expect this.
No, that's okay. I didn't expect Chuck D to call in from 50,000 feet.
Yeah, on a plane. So I feel special right now. And even though we couldn't hear him, to everybody that's listening, to just think about what's going on in my brain right now. The brother did not have to do that.
Yeah.
He took the time to give us sign language.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. But and I heard him clear.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
He's definitely one of a kind.
Yep.
Actually, all of us are one of a kind. It's just that what kind are you?
Very true. Very true.
What kind are you? What line are you in?
We're going to wrap it up. I wanted to thank you once again for coming on, and please, please, thank you. And I want to have you back. Let's do this again.
Anytime, brothers. Anytime. And if you need help with, well, you probably don't need my help reaching out to people, but if you ever need help, a phone call to this one or that one, let me know, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
appreciate
that. There's no thanks. We gotta push the culture.
Yes,
you gotta push the culture. You can't say you're part of the culture. You don't push the culture.
Exactly.
Right.
A dope man can't say he a dope man. He ain't selling no herb. I ask him, I'm gonna be like, yo, man, you keep talking about you the dope man. You sell weed? Nah, well, you ain't the dope man then.
You ain't the dope man. So, and real quick, I'm hoping that this becomes a reality.
Now think about that. Look how dope that cover is, though.
I know, right?
Look how do you have artwork and no music for that? Shit is ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate you even showing that, man. Like for real, because to me, that album cover is crazy.
Yo, man, it's one of my was one of my favorite ones I've ever designed, and I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah,
So.
we got to hear that.
Yep.
I'm sorry, who's the little short guy?
Huh? Yeah, I don't know who that short guy is with the arrow over his head pointing to him. Like it's me. That's New York, right? Look at me. Look at me. That's New York for you. Look at me.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you, YZ.
No,
Yeah.
thank you all,
man.
and I appreciate you. And you know, please put this somewhere in your calendar that we really need to have a discussion.
Yeah,
and I would really like to reach out to all of the hip hop community and get their viewpoints on it. I mean, because I'd like to see, both ends of the spectrum. I'd like to see somebody come and say, man, fuck that. I'm going to keep selling guns and gun talk because gun talk is keeping grits and eggs on my table or whatever, right. Because right. That's without the dialogue, there's no solution.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Agreed.
Anyway, so thanks again.
Now, does anybody have to go to your store to be able to buy your stuff, or can
No. You can go online. You could go to prideroad.com. It's prideroad.com, and you can order right online. We deliver. I do at least six or seven farmers markets every week. Got different people working them. I'll work them myself. And we're just looking to find more avenues to distribute. So if anybody that's out there that got connections, like we've already submitted to Whole Foods and we've already submitted to Trader Joe's and Sprouts.
I was going to say Trader Joe's.
But waiting on them, man, it's like waiting, spending $30,000 to Radio One and waiting for them to tell you, well, thank you for you're the consideration, but we're not going to be able to play this. But they took that 30 racks though.
Right.
Yep, they sure did.
Yep.
They took that 30 racks. And that's what it's starting to feel like with this. But because there are smaller markets, we're able to push these products, man. And they do very well to keep a roof over my head, man. I'm good.
Yeah. That's what's up. And where's your store at?
The store is in Lithonia, Georgia. The farm is in Jasper County, 77 acres. And we remember that festival we saw you. I saw you. We were thinking about doing something similar on this land. Yeah.
That's
and so we made on the off season. Yeah. So
dope. All right.
Yeah.
But thank you, bro.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we will talk soon. Ladies and gentlemen, YZ, the Holy One himself.
Yeah, that was a joke, because
it was dope.
That was a joke though when I put the Holy One on there because you kept saying we got the Holy One, we got a master plan. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna play to that then. That was a joke.
No, that's all good.
I was waiting for you to say something about it, but you didn't.
No, it's because look at mine. It says the diggy diggy doc, y'all. So it's all good. So, all right, thank you, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank
Peace,
you, Jenny. Thank you, Jenny. Peace.
Absolutely.
Peace, Doc.
Thank you.
I'll talk to y'all later.
Man.
All right. Peace, bro.
Peace.
Fantastic.
Awesome guy.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. Super guy.
Fantastic human being.
Yep. Buzzing around. Yeah. No, that was great. So, yep. Another one in that, who said it? Somebody said another successful show in the books.
Yeah.
Another great show. Oh, CM. Thanks, bro. So, yep. Yeah, that was fantastic. Always great to hear from YZ. Need to hear from YZ more.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned. Yep.
Heck yeah.
So
Anytime.
exactly. So, ladies and gents, we'll be back next week with some more It's C-Doc Again madness. M-Rock, you want to play something to take us out?
I was actually going to give my science lesson about dexahedrine. But instead, I'll play some of the Fruitsnickens.
Next week, join us. Next week, join us. We'll have Black Medine talking about their new album, and we're also going to have DJ Magic Mike's manager, Keith Waddell, coming through talking about being a manager to one of the great old school legends and the new music that Magic Mike is putting out. So until then, we will see y'all later. I said later, man.
What's up, Doc? Can we rock? What's up, Doc? Can we rock? What's up, Doc? Cha-cha-cha-cha. What's up, Mario? Come on.
It's C-Doc again.